attempted murder, rape, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation of a 5-year-old. Those are the charges a 10-year-old faced today in court. Good evening, I'm Katie Houston.
And I'm Tara Morgan. News 5's Nadine Abusada was there for the arraignment. At this time, we are not showing or naming the children involved due to their age.
This type of behavior doesn't deserve grace. They knew what they were doing, and they was okay with that. They even play after not caring about my baby.
For the first time since Antavia Kennebrew says her 5-year-old daughter was assaulted in a field, she sat in the same courtroom as the 10-year-old girl accused of the attack.
Since this horrific act was done to her, she just been going through it, and that's how it should be for her offenders.
Today, Judge Kristen Sweeney arraigned the 10-year-old girl who appeared in juvenile court with a mask and hooded puffy coat.
This is going to be a very short hearing where I'm going to go over your rights with you.
She faces a list of charges including attempted murder, rape, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation.
We have filed a competency motion as we do have significant concerns for her ability to understand the statutory language of the complaint as well as her legal rights in the proceedings today.
While the judge granted that motion, the prosecution asked that the 10-year-old be placed on house arrest with an ankle monitor.
They should not get grace or a break to return home and get prepared for their life to change, because not only did they been given enough time already, nothing prepared my baby for her life to be changed. She didn't get time.
The defense argued against the ankle monitor, referencing court Monday, where they said the child has faced threats at school, crowds at her home, and that the family has since moved for safety reasons.
If she is put on ankle monitor, that will become public knowledge. And if that is, and if someone figures out where she is living and they know that she is court ordered to be there, that could pose a potential safety risk to her and her family.
But Judge Sweeney ordered that house arrest and an ankle monitor are necessary.
One is the serious nature of these charges. Secondly, and I'm just going to note this for the record, we don't have a parent present in court today for MH. And so I am not sure what the living circumstances are outside of what was discussed in the closure hearing.
So what's next? The 10-year-old girl will now undergo a competency evaluation, and there will be a hearing to follow. Now regarding the 9-year-old boy accused as well. He did not appear in court today due to a family member having car issues. His hearing was rescheduled to next week. Now, if he doesn't appear again, the judge will issue a warrant for his arrest. Reporting in Cleveland, Nadine Abusada.
Damn. In the words of China Brim, put these kids in the comments section. Welcome to the Full Motion Podcast, brought to you by Full Motion Music Group at www.fullmotionmusicgroup.com. The only artist development company that sits down with you to build your brand, create your Wikipedia page, launch your Google Knowledge panel, design your artist website, and guarantees income from your first project together. As an independent artist, doing everything alone is very tough. So log on, connect with the A&R professional, and take your career to the level it deserves. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Full Motion Podcast, powered by Full Motion Music Group. My name is Swigga Giovanni. Let's tap in with what's been making noise across the culture and the country. From courtroom headlines to music comebacks, political moves, and everything in between. This is your world news and entertainment rundown. We're bringing you the stories that hit both the charts, the streets, and the one shaping the conversation right now. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with some good news for hip-hop. The wave god himself, Max B, is finally home. After more than 16 years behind bars, Harlem rapper Max B was officially released from Northern State Prison in Newark, New Jersey today, November 9th, 2025. Videos on his verified Instagram show him celebrating his freedom, surrounded by family, friends, and yes, French Montana was right in the mix. Max B was sentenced in 2009 to 75 years for charges tied to armed robbery and murder. But in 2016, the conviction was vacated and reduced to 20 years after a plea to aggravated manslaughter. His early release came through time served and good behavior credits. He already told his fans he's going straight back to the studio, no breaks, no easing in. Welcome home, Max B. There's a lot going on, man. And Jim Jones is pretty quiet right now. I know they've been having some beef. Max B was saying that he had Jim Jones' wife in a crib or some type of mix going on with Jim Jones and Max B. But It's gonna be a lot of talk going on in the hip hop community, bro. He is the New York legend. Max B is home. I can't wait to hear what he got in store. Yup. The streets been waiting on this one. Max B said he's ready to make waves again, and judging by the energy online, the fans is waiting too. Now, from celebration to controversy, let's talk about Diddy. Yeah, man, my boy Diddy, he got caught drinking some hooch in prison. Now, reports claim that Diddy was disciplined, meaning probably given a ticket, at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey for brewing homemade alcohol from Fanta, sugar, and apples. Now, the sources say it fermented for 2 weeks before guards found it during a routine search. The Bureau of Prisons hasn't confirmed the incident, so right now it's all alleged, not verified. Now, this comes months after Diddy told the court he'd been sober for the first time in 25 years. Now, in the feds, Diddy's probably not the one making the hooch. You know what I'm saying? He's probably buying it off of somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be real, man. Hooch in the feds, like a Coca-Cola 16-ounce bottle full of hooch, will run you about $100 to $200, bro, of that. So, and it takes some time to cook, bro. You feel me? So I don't know if Diddy's cooking it or whatever, but if the reports are true, that's a major setback for somebody who said he was starting fresh. But we'll keep watching to see if any of those official records back this story up. Now, speaking of hip-hop heavyweights, Jay-Z, Hove, is back in the headlines, but not for music. All right, let's get into one of the most talked about stories this week. The long-running paternity case against Jay-Z has finally come to an end, but the history behind this one runs deep, almost 3 decades deep. Now, a California judge has officially dismissed Rymir Satterthwaite's paternity case against Jay-Z with prejudice, ending a battle that's been going on for more than 10 years. Now, with prejudice, that means the same lawsuit cannot be filed again, but it doesn't decide whether Jay-Z is his biological father or not. Rymir has claimed for years that Jay-Z fathered him after a relationship with his late mother, Wanda Satterthwaite, in the early 1990s. Wanda was reportedly around 15 or 16 years old living in Philadelphia when she said she met Jay-Z before his fame. Over the years, Wanda struggled with serious health issues. Reports say she suffered heart failure and lung complications, went into a medically induced coma in 2012, and later passed away at the age of 43. Some reports say it's in 2016, others say 2019. But before she died, Wanda recorded a video saying she believed Jay-Z was her son's father. After her passing, Rymir and his godmother, Lily Coley, kept fighting to get Jay-Z to take a DNA test. Now, court records show they filed a case in both New Jersey and Pennsylvania going back to around 2008. Jay-Z's lawyers have always denied the allegations, calling them fabricated, saying there's no credible evidence to require a test. Now, Rymir says he never asked for money or child support. He says the fight was about acknowledgement and truth and not a payout. Now, after years of hearings, a California judge dismissed the case November 5th, 2025, permanently closing that version of the case. Still, Rymir told reporters he's not giving up and he plans to keep pushing for proof and recognition. So here's what we know. There's no DNA test, no confirmation either way. The courts closed the book on this case, but the story itself is far from over. For Jay-Z, it's about protecting his legacy. For Rymir, it's about identity and closure. And until a DNA test ever happens, this one stays unresolved. Now, I don't know. I mean, is he not taking the test because she was 15 or 16 at the time, or will it disrupt his whole family he has built in? I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, I feel sorry for the kid, and I know he's talking about he don't want no money or a payout, but man, if he is the father, you gonna look for money and you're gonna look for a payout. But I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, bro. Like, should he take this test or not? Does he look like him or does he not? Like, I don't know, man, but things like this happen all the time, bro. Moving right along, man. Let's move from music news to what's happening in the headlines. World and national stories that have been stirring up debate all week. Let's talk about the Great White Hope. Donald Trump. He freezes IRS hiring for 90 days, and here's what's really going on. Now, a lot of people online says Trump froze the IRS completely for fraud investigations, but here's what's really going on and why it's blowing up across social media. President Trump signed an executive order putting a 90-day hiring freeze across most federal agencies, including the IRS. Now, this is not a shutdown. The agency is still processing tax returns, refunds, and audits. They're just temporarily blocking new hires while the administration reviews spending and staffing. But online, the story went viral after a string of posts from a finance influencer named Richard Yu, who says Trump's move might expose what he calls hidden IRS hypocrisy. Now, according to Yu, more than 150,000 federal employees owe about $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes, and that includes around 5,000 IRS workers themselves. Now, this figure comes from a 2023 GAO report. The total is accurate, though most cases involve small unpaid amounts or installment plans. Now, he argues that while W-2 employees are taxed heavily, wealthy individuals and business owners play a different game, using LLCs, trusts, and deductions to legally cut taxes and invest in cash-flowing assets that outpace inflation. He posted data showing where the average American pays each month. Now, let's break this down. If you make $50,000 in income, about $1,343 a month you are going to pay in taxes. If you make $75,000, you pay about $2,226 in taxes a month. Now, $100K, you pay around $3,000 a month in taxes. Now, over a 40-year career, that adds up to roughly 12 years of income gone to taxes. Now, Post also claims that the dollars left in workers' pockets are worth about 33% less than they were in 2020 because of inflation. And that's roughly consistent with data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, which show cumulative inflation of around 22 to 25% since 2020. Now, he frames Trump's investigation not as random, but as a retaliation against years of IRS misconduct and tax inequities. Now, while there's no evidence to freeze his retaliation, the administration has said it's part of a larger fraud prevention and efficiency review across federal agencies. Now, I've been looking into trust. I have an LLC, you know what I'm saying? But I've been looking into ways to legally cut taxes. And if you're legally cutting the taxes, why is it a problem? Like, it's a game that they play. This whole money-making situation is a game. You know what I'm saying? In school, in public school, they don't even teach you about financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? Public school to me is just like a daycare for the low-income people, bro. Like, you go to school, you cut school when you're in school. They don't teach you. I mean, I guess teachers are underpaid. I don't know, bro, but this whole thing about this school, it just gives me a whole jail institution vibes. Like the hallways, the bells ringing. It's a lot, bro. Like, us as individuals have to teach ourselves. We have to learn the game. Nobody's gonna give up no real game for free. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta learn, we gotta study, we gotta have discipline. And if you are a parent, do not leave it up to the schools to teach your children. You have to teach them yourself, all right? So to break it down, Trump's freeze isn't stopping the IRS from working, but it's definitely a political message. And those numbers hitting social media are sparking a real conversation, not just about tax fraud inside the IRS, but how regular people and the wealthy play by a completely different set of rules. You see what I'm saying? Now, next up, we're heading back to Indiana, a tragic story that's raising serious questions about self-defense laws. Now, a mother of 4 who was shot and killed after going to the wrong house for work. Maria Florinda Rios Perez, 32, a Guatemalan immigrant and a house cleaner, was with her husband on a job in Whitestown, Indiana. They accidentally arrived at the wrong house. Now, as Maria tried to unlock the door with the client's keys, the homeowner shot her through the closed door. She died in her husband's arms on the porch. Now, prosecutors are reviewing the case under Indiana's Stand Your Ground law. Now, this case is shaking up the conversation about gun laws and mistaken identity. No charges yet, but the community is demanding accountability. From Indiana to Illinois, another story caught on camera. Now, an Illinois TikToker is facing backlash after a deadly live stream. Now, creator Tea Time, that's her name, Tea Time, was live streaming while driving in Zion, Illinois, where she hit a 59-year-old Darren Lucas. Lucas later died from his injuries. Police say Tea Time stayed at the scene and has cooperated. Alcohol and drugs are not suspected. Now, prosecutors are still deciding on charges. I have a little clip of this live stream when she hit this dude, man. Let's listen to it.
I don't know, it was weird, like, so, fuck!
Who was
Let me
that?
call you
You
right
okay?
now. Oh, fuck.
Who was that?
Fuck.
You okay?
If you notice, she just said, oh man, I just hit somebody. But yo, y'all gotta see this live, bro. I mean, I have it on the fullmotionmusicgroup.com website. But this is another reminder that distraction kills. Not only alcohol and drugs, distraction. Views and clouts are never worth a life, man. Rest in peace to this man, because this girl wanted to go live on TikTok, bro. Now let's take a turn into the health world. New studies are sparking serious talk about beauty products and cancer risk. Now, this one's got a lot of people double checking their bathroom cabinets, man. A large NIH study found that women who regularly use permanent hair dye have a slightly higher risk of developing breast cancer, around 9% overall, and up to 60% higher among black women who use it often. Researchers say it's a correlation, not proof of cause. Semi-permanent dyes and natural colorants didn't show the same link. Now, experts recommend spacing out treatments, wearing gloves, and ventilating well during coloring. Now, health experts aren't saying throw the dye away, but they are saying be smart and give your scalp some breathing room. Now, let's talk tech. Now, Meta's building something huge under the ocean. Now, Meta has a $10 billion W-shaped undersea cable. Meta's next big move isn't in the metaverse, it's under the sea. Now, Meta is spending $10 billion to build a 24,000-mile fiber optic cable system shaped like a W. It's gonna link the US, India, South Africa, and Australia. The route avoids unstable regions like the Red Sea and South China Sea. The project, called Project Waterworth, aims to boost global internet speed and support AI data centers. Now, Meta says the goal is for faster global connections, but it's also about control, and owning the cable means owning the flow of data. Now, you see what Mark Zuckerberg's doing? Like, once you own the cables, you own the flow of data. You own what's going on. You own what's gonna be on the internet from what's not gonna be on the internet, bro. I want y'all to take a big look at that, man. Do some more research into this story. Like, we are in the last days, bro. And when I say we're in the last days, I don't mean the world's coming to an end. I mean, we are in the last days of freedom, bro. Free to do whatever we want, free to watch what we want, free to go where we want. These electric cars, man, for all you know, they won't let you go in certain areas no more. Yeah, man, I'm gonna keep my Hellcat, bro. I'm not getting no electric car. All right, let's lighten things up with a wild love story that sounds straight out of a movie. Now, a woman marries a man who forgot that they broke up. Like, y'all ever wish somebody could forget a breakup? Well, listen, this dude actually did, man. Now, Jenna Brotherson broke up with her boyfriend Mitchell in early 2020. The next day he went skiing, he had a bad fall and suffered a concussion. Now, when he woke up, he had no memory of the breakup, so he kept calling her like nothing ever happened, bro. Over months of recovery and care, they reconnected and fell back in love. They got married later that same year, bro. Ooh, I mean, damn. Is the girl sneaky for not telling the man they broke up? Like, I don't know. Like, that's very melancholy. You know what I'm saying? It's very melancholy. You know what I mean? But sometimes life hits reset for you. Literally, man. This is a crazy story, but I guess they found a happy ending. And shout out to them, but I'm not a fan of it, bro. I mean, she should have kept it 100 and told them that they broke up, man. They probably broke up for a real important reason, bro. Who knows, man? All right, let's wrap this segment up with a court story that's got the NBA fans talking. Now, former NBA star Tony Allen arrested in Arkansas. Former Memphis Grizzlies star Tony Allen's back in the news, but not for defense on the court. Now, police in Poinsett County, Arkansas, pulled over Allen's vehicle last week. They found marijuana on him and cocaine inside the car. Now, the body cam footage shows the driver repeatedly trying to take full blame, telling the officers that the drugs were his and not Tony Allen's. Now, despite that, both men were charged and later released on bond. I gotta find that clip, man. But yeah, the driver was like, yo, this is mine, bro. This is mine. I think Tony Allen was gonna do a podcast, and they said, I'll give you a ride to the podcast studio. And they found that in the car, bro. Like, that's sad, bro. Now, Allen's facing drug possession charges, and the video's already viral. He hasn't made a public statement yet. And that's what's been making waves across the world and culture this week. From courtroom headlines to major wins in music, these stories remind us how fast the game moves. Now let's switch gears and talk about you. It's time for today's artist development tip of the day. Okay, it's time for today's artist development tip of the day. And this one's about taking control of your career instead of waiting for someone to hand you a stage. Today's tip is simple. Create your own concert. Live performances are one of the most important parts of your growth as an independent artist. Performing in front of people builds real fans, not algorithms. It creates a connection that streams alone can't do. And here's the strategy. Start small. Now you book a small venue, a lounge, a local bar, an art space, a coffee shop, or a community center. Something small, 50 people max, man. A smaller room fills up faster, and that's the look you want. When it's packed, it creates energy, excitement, and credibility. Now you can film short clips and post captions like a sold out show or no more tickets at the door. That's the kind of social proof that makes people want to be at your next one. And don't forget the visuals. Take pictures and videos of the packed room and the line outside. Now, the smaller venues naturally make lines look longer, which helps you create that demand image. That's the image you're looking for. Like, this dude just had a sold out show and now everybody wants to be a part of it. Post those visuals across all platforms. It builds hype, it gets people curious, and it helps your next event sell even faster. And some venues won't even charge rent if you guarantee a certain amount of people or a bar minimum. Reach out to local bar owners, small clubs, event managers, reach out to the small coffee shops, reach out to small locations. Building those relationships pays off. And once they see you bring people in, you'll get better deals and recurring opportunities. And here's the thing, collaborate with other artists. Have one or two openers who can help bring their own crowd. It helps you hit your bar guarantee and exposes your music to new listeners. Make your concert a business move, not just a performance. Sell merch, sign posters, collect emails or IG handles or both for your fan list. And record clips for your website, your EPK, and we're going to talk about that in our next show, and social media. Now, one event can feed your content for months, man. Performing live also helps you tighten your stage presence, energy, and confidence. Things that separate professionals from hobbyists. So don't wait for a promoter to give you a shot. Create your own. Remember, keep it small, make it look big, and document everything. That's how you build a brand people take serious. And if you want help planning your next show or locking in a venue, Full Motion Music Group can help you set it from start to finish. Visit fullmotionmusicgroup.com to get started today. And that wraps up another episode of the Full Motion Podcast, powered by Full Motion Music Group. My name is Swigga Giovanni. If you're an artist looking to level up, book your next show, or build your brand the right way, tap in with us at fullmotionmusicgroup.com. Stay focused, stay consistent, And most importantly, stay in motion. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.